Hey y'all, this is your girl Tysheen. How you doing? How you feeling? I hope you're doing great. I hope you're doing wonderful. Yeah, so I'm gonna be reacting to family channels. Family channels are in major trouble. Man, this sucks. I don't know. I mean, it says major trouble. I don't know what kind of major trouble they're gonna be in. But I've heard a few news about them. I guess they're trying to protect the kids. Basically, I follow a couple of family channels on YouTube. A couple of them. I might show you a few of them that I follow, and I've been following them for years. I mean when I mean years, I'm talking about over 10 years. I've followed a few family channels. So. Oh man, they starting to get real tough on them. So let's get straight to the video. This sucks.
It looks like family channels and parent influencers have taken things a little too far, and it's caused some states to consider taking action to protect children from being taken advantage of by their parents for social media content. Over the years, we've talked about tons of family channels that have been called out for filming their kids and making them the main focus of most of their content. And seeing these families start to upgrade their lifestyles as a result, from buying mansions and luxury cars to designer goods and things like that. These things have led viewers to question the ethics of the situation, and people have been left wondering if there would soon be some sort of law or rule put in place by either platforms themselves or individual places to protect kids from being taken advantage of. People have talked about how unregulated it is to post videos and such with kids on social media, and how there is no telling if they're being
I remember this video. Oh my god, I remember her. I've watched her. Well, she used to have her own channel just by herself, not with her kid. But she used to do like videos about being positive and manifesting and all that stuff. And I really liked her. My daughter liked to watch her videos too. But when we saw this, because what happened was, I'm quite sure some of y'all know the story. She forgot to edit out certain part of the video. And in the part that she didn't edit out is the part where she was forcing her son to cry. Like, she was basically coaching him and telling him how he's supposed to show expression on his face, how to cry. And she was saying how he's not crying hard enough. He's not doing this and he's not doing that. You got to show the world your sad face. And basically her son was saying, like, Mom, I'm crying. I am crying. Because he really is crying, because what happened is they lost their dog. So it was so awkward to watch. I just couldn't finish watching. It was just too much.
Overworked, or if they're even being compensated for their time spent working. Because not all of the family channels are just like vlogging their everyday lives. Some people have their kids full on acting in skits for these videos, dancing, dressing up, all sorts of things like that. And when it comes to child actors, there are laws put in place for them that try and prevent parents from cashing in on the money that they've earned, as well as setting an amount of hours that children are even allowed to work on a set. But there has never been rules made for influencer parents until now. And it seems that these parents have taken things just a little too far, and states are taking notice enough to make something happen. This week is the week things start to change, and I wonder if any of these parents are nervous about how it will be affecting their content going forward. But it was announced that Illinois would be the first state to pass a law that protects child influence.
I think they passed it already. I think I seen the update on this. I think they did pass it already.
It passed this week, and it will go into effect in July of next year. But the law would ensure financial compensation for children influencers who are featured in monetized video content. And rumors are swirling that more states will soon follow in their footsteps regarding this kind of protection for children. The law specifically states, Section 2.6, minors featured in vlogs. A minor under the age of 16 is considered engaged in the work of vlogging when the following criteria are met at any time during the previous 12-month period. At least 30% of the vlogger's compensated video content produced within a 30-day period included the likeness, name, or photograph of the minor.
It's
Content
work.
percentage is measured by the percentage of time the likeness, name, or photograph of the minor visually appears or is the subject of an oral narrative in a video segment as compared to the total length of the segment and the number of views received per video segment on any online platform met the online platform's threshold for the generation of compensation, or the vlogger received actual compensation for video content equal to or greater than 10 cents per view. All vloggers whose content features a minor under the age of 16 engaged in the work of vlogging shall maintain the following records and shall provide them to the minor on an ongoing basis: the name of the documentary proof of the age of the minor engaged in the work of vlogging, the number of vlogs that generated compensation as described in subsection A during the reporting period, the total number of minutes of the vlog that the vlogger received compensation for during the reporting period, the total number of minutes each minor was featured in vlogs during the reporting period, the total compensation generated from vlogs featuring a minor during the reporting period, and the amount deposited into the trust account for the benefit of the minor engaged in the working of vlogging as required by section 12.6. If a vlogger whose vlog content features minors under the age of 16 engaged in the work of vlogging fails to maintain the records as provided in subsection C, the minor may commence a civil action to enforce the provisions of this section. Minors engaged in the work of vlogging trust fund. A minor satisfying the criteria described in subsection of section 2.6 must be compensated by the vlogger. The vlogger must set aside gross earnings on the video content, including the likeness, name, or photograph of the minor, in a trust account to be preserved for the benefit of the minor upon reaching the age of maturity, according to the following distribution. 1, where only the minor meets the content threshold described in section 2.6, the percentage of total gross earning on any video segment, including the likeness, name, or photograph of the minor, that is equal to or greater than half of the content percentage that includes the minor as described in section 2.6. Or where more than one minor meets the content threshold described in section 2.6 and a video segment includes more than one of those minors, the percentage described in paragraph 1 for all minors in any segment must be equally divided between the minors, regardless of differences in percentage of content provided by the individual minors. A trust account required under this section must be provided at a minimum the following: that the funds in the account shall be available only to the minor engaged in the work of vlogging, that the account shall be held by a bank, corporate fiduciary, or trust company, as those terms are defined in the Corporate Fiduciary Act, that the funds in the account shall become available to the minor engaged in the work of vlogging upon the minor attaining the age of 18 or until the minor is declared emancipated, and that the account meets the requirements of the Illinois Uniform Transfers to Minors Act. If a vlogger knowingly or recklessly violates this section, a minor satisfying the criteria described in subsections of 2.6 may commence an action to enforce the provisions of this section regarding the trust account. The court may award to a minor who will prevail in any action brought in accordance with this section the following damages: actual damages, punitive damages, and the cost of the action, including attorney's fee and litigation costs. This section does not affect a right or remedy available under any other laws of the state. Nothing in this section shall be interpreted to have any effect on a party that is neither the vlogger nor the minor engaged in the work of vlogging. I mean, reading this, it really does seem like it is for the best that something like this is happening to ensure that a child is...
I think because this lady right here, she messed it up for everybody. But it's not only her. I've seen videos of people who talked about this vlogging situation where they were kids and they was forced into vlogging and they got older. It really messed them up, like not just mentally but physically. It just messed them up. So yeah, I'm quite sure that's the reason why they starting to do all of this, because this is crazy. I mean, this has been going on for like who knows how long. Like I said, I've been watching other families for over 10 years, so
going to receive going on for a while. Proper compensation for being a part of their family's vlog and things like that, because it's been so long now that people have just been so concerned about these kids being used for content. Yeah. And obviously it seems that right now it's only really making sure that they're properly compensated and doesn't really give much more protection aside from that. Really, and we've seen those rules in Hollywood, and kids still come out and talk about growing up as a child star and the horrors of it all. But this is a step in
So basically, it's kind of like almost the same thing. These kids are being forced to do something they don't want. They're being treated in a certain way. It messed, like I said, it messed them up mentally. So that's the reason why they, But I have a feeling it's because of that lady. They was like, no, we can't continue with this, because I'm quite sure. Yeah, it had. I feel like because of her in that video, how was she treating her son.
And I do think that as more kids who have grown up online speak out, this conversation will get louder and louder, causing other states to try and enforce some laws. Social media is still pretty new, and the kids who have grown up on these family channels, some are only now just graduating from high school and moving out and starting to speak out and tell their stories.
Yeah.
We've seen Sherry from 8 Passengers come out and talk about what it was like to grow up on a family vlog channel and how she thinks that chapter of her life is done. And we've also heard from children still part of these family channels anonymously come forward to share their stories about the fact that their parents have profited off of them and gone viral, and they have no say in whether they want to be in the spotlight or not, and they don't even know where that money is going. There was an article published earlier this year in Teen Vogue that was titled "Influencer Parents and the Kids Who Had Their Childhood Made Into Content." And the article detailed Claire, a girl whose parents currently run a family channel. Her name has been changed for the article to protect her identity because she still lives at home with her parents, but she wants to speak out as soon as she can live on her own. Until then, she wanted to keep anonymous. And I shared this back at the time when this article came out, but essentially the article wrote, "Search Claire's name online and this is some of what you will find. Photos of her as a child, merchandise with her face on it available for sale, and a YouTube channel with millions of subscribers and hundreds of videos featuring Claire and members of her family. In the video, Claire grows from a toddler to a teenager. On Instagram, fans comment they miss videos from the old days. In public, people sometimes recognize her and ask for photos. Although the family's YouTube channel has over 1 billion views, but if it were up to Claire, none of the videos would exist. The first time she went..."
I just totally forgot about that too. The fame that comes with it also. That sucks. Because people are not going to forget, who you are and your family. So that kind of sucks.
Viral, she was a toddler. When the family channel started raking in the views, Claire says both her parents left their job because the revenue from the YouTube channel was enough to support the family and to land them a nicer house and new car. "That's not fair that I have to support everyone," she said. "I'm not trying to be resentful, but I kind of am." Once she told her dad she didn't want to do YouTube videos anymore, and he told her that they would have to move out of their house and her parents would have to go back to work, leaving no money for nice things. She had also claimed she didn't even know how much money her parents had set aside for her to use in the future. And hopefully these unknowns can be prevented with more laws like this in the future, and more kids will be able to have money properly set aside for them if their parents are participating in this kind of content online. I mean, obviously it doesn't protect them from their parents trying to be sneaky with it or some sort of loophole or something like that, but it's definitely a step, and maybe parents will even think twice about even wanting their kids to be in their content. Who knows? There's already been a number of influencers who have decided this year that they were going to stop sharing their kids online going forward because they just don't think it's a good idea anymore. So with laws like this, maybe even more kids will be safe online, because there's just such creepy people out there watching these types of videos a lot of the time. And, I know there are people that mean well, but there's a lot out there who feel like they know these kids. They're a family member when they're watching these videos. There's people that will even make fake accounts pretending to be the influencer kids' parents. Like, there was this one influencer who talked about how someone would take all of her Instagram photos of her babies and make like a new Instagram for themselves and act like those were their kids. Like, that's just freaking weird. It's gross.
I don't even know why I'm acting shocked. I know y'all saw the expression on my face. I don't know why I'm acting like this. I should not be surprised. There are some people who are frequently they're not right up here. They're not right. Like, something mentally wrong with them. That's creepy and scary. That's scary.
To play pretend like that, and it's definitely another scary element to the internet and why children should be protected.
I would never bring my child.
But I guess we will just have to see if more states follow in the footsteps of Illinois. I certainly want to know what you guys think about all of this in the comments. I love you guys so much, and I will talk to you in the next video. Bye, guys.
That is crazy. Oh my God. I'm sorry, y'all. That is so creepy. The fact that someone really did that. And then when you when you expose your kids out there like that, people, there are a lot of pedophiles out there, you know? They've been watching your kids, and I don't want to think about it. But I'm kind of glad about this in a way, you know? They're going to have to start being a little strict, with, especially when it comes to parents. I mean, I've watched a family, I don't really watch them like that. Someone else was watching them. And I just came across of this family where the little girl was sick, and you could tell she was really, really sick. Like something was wrong with her. She had a major headache. She was throwing up. All kind of stuff was going on with her. And the family just had the camera in her face. Like in her face. No one didn't even say, like, let's grab the keys and let's run, let's go to the hospital or nothing. And they just had the camera in her face. And I'm like, are you serious? And all they want to talk about is their new furnitures and stuff like that. And I'm sitting there watching. It's like, take that little girl to the emergency room. They just have the camera in her face. And I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. They'll do anything for views. It's all about views. They don't care about all the other stuff. So I'm kind of glad that they starting to be strict with this, with the family vlogging channels. And I'm quite sure, like she said, other states are going to start following, when it comes to this law now. So they're going to have to, because it's kind of sad, And then the family that said that the little girl who said she didn't want to be part of it no more, they're going to tell her, they'll try to make her feel bad, saying, well, if you don't do it, we're not going to have new things, nice things. So what? She doesn't want to be part of the vlogging no more. At a certain age, you just don't want to do it no more. They don't want to be in the spotlight. They don't want to be famous. They probably never wanted to be famous. They just probably were just doing it for the fun. And, and the family was doing it, so they were like, all right, we're going to do it. But then at a certain age, they're like, no, I don't want to do it no more. And then you're forcing your kid to vlog. You're forcing them because you want the views, you want the money, you want the nice things. I mean, that's all you care about. That's sad. It's sad, but I don't know. So comment below. Let me know how you feel about this one. And make sure you check my other videos, and I'll see you later. Peace.